let's jump into the Philadelphia Eagles 7-round mock draft. And of course, we can never make Eagles fans happy. We can never we can never seemingly get it right here for Eagles fans. But of course, Howie Roseman has done a lot of work to this point. There's been some retirements of some veterans, some free agents moving around, of course, new coordinators on either side of the ball. From a schematic standpoint, things are changing. They make the trade to acquire Kenny Pickett. Here they are. They bring back in Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. They bring in Bryce Huff. They've added a pair of second-level defenders.
Still think they could use a corner. I know Slay and Bradbury's on the roster. You got Ringo and Ricks, the young guys over there, but never have enough corners. And I'm looking at the offensive line also. Got some young guys in there, Cam Jurgens, Tyler Steen. I like both of those guys coming out, but Kelsey's no longer there. That's a big hole right there. So more competition along the interior offensive line. The Devontae Parker, that's a good signing for them. You could probably put Devontae Smith more in the slot. They brought in Saquon Barkley. Saquon's going to get all the work there. And then safety. You brought in Gardner-Johnson, but he's pretty much a nickel corner. He can play safety also, but, getting another safety in the secondary. So I think the secondary and the offensive line. And then what are you doing with Hassan Reddick? Huff and Sweat's a good edge rushers, but I think they could add another one if you want to move Hassan Reddick.
And then, of course, there's Nolan Smith. No, don't forget Nolan Smith is in the wings there as well. So I tend to agree with Juke. I don't think they're set at linebacker. I think they're in a better position than they were, like I said, a week ago, 2 weeks ago. But I don't think they're set here. Devin White has not played good football. He's ranked among the worst in terms of run defense over the last several seasons. So, Drew, your thoughts as I get the draft underway here?
I think you guys kind of hit it. The only other position I could think of would be they could add a third receiver. But you ain't got to press that. Now, if a guy falls to you, you see him, maybe you pull the trigger, but I don't think they got to press that. And let me just say this for since I'm familiar with Devin White, okay?
That's your guy, right?
You said it. Like it's just there's games where he's the best player on the field, and then there's games you're like, I could pick anybody out in the stand that could play better than him. He's a guy who he's the definition of inconsistent, man. And he's got all the talent in the world, but sometimes you just don't see it, right? Or he's that guy that just he comes under. There's so many times where he should have made a play, whether it be a sack or a tackle for a loss, and he just comes in there out of control and just missed the tackle, bro. So he's a frustrating player to watch because you see the greatness, and then you see the 10, and then you see the 1, right? And you want him to settle in around that 7.5, 8. Playing for the Eagles, he's playing that 1-year deal. I think he wanted a big time contract, and I think the Patrick Queen contract kind of just dead that real quick. Like, nope.
Yeah.
If this is what he got,
the market wasn't
you're
there.
definitely not getting any of that.
Yeah,
bro.
the market wasn't there.
So he's on a prove it deal, and buyer beware, because he might play his mind out, and then you sign him to that deal, and then you back to what the Bucks were dealing with.
All right. So here we are. As D-Kit mentioned, Cooper DeJean is staring us in the face here. I'm looking at the corners. That's where I'm starting. Kool-Aid McKinstry. It looks like Mitchell, Arnold, and Wiggins are off the board at this point. So those are your top corner/safety. Again, we view DeJean more of a safety, but certainly in a zone-heavy scheme, he can play on the boundary. Got Ray Straw, Lassiter. Heard some differing times with respect to Lassiter coming out of his pro day. I heard 4.6. I've heard 4.5. I'm not sure what to make of it. One thing that I have noticed is that the long speed does appear to be an issue. Everything else looks great, but at times the long speed appears to be an issue there. That's what the corners look like. Edge, Darius Robinson's out there. Braylon Trice. I think we've kind of pigeonholed him for a day 2 pick at this juncture. On the down line, you have Byron Murphy and Jerzon Newton. Those are intriguing players, although I think ideally they'd be a 3 technique.
You got Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in the slot. That's kind of where I see Cooper DeJean, either safety or slot. You got Kool-Aid McKinstry out there also. Yeah, I'm looking at those 2 corners right there, and that Darius Robinson guy, man. He's a guy that I always look at him and like, he could play in any defense, any system, any style of play, and he could get after the quarterback and help against the run. So, Darius Robinson's another name that's sticking out to me right now.
Yeah, I'm probably pulling the trigger on the Darius Robinson. Like you said, he can play in any scheme, any fit. You can move him around. You can get cute. If we're talking about playing Legos, he'd definitely be a great fit there. I know the corner's kind of staring you there in the face, and Kool-Aid. I probably wouldn't draft Cooper DeJean here. Definitely probably would go Kool-Aid. If I was going to go corner, but I'd probably go Darius Robinson here.
I'd be in favor of trading down if you want to go Darius Robinson. I'd be in favor of that. I'd still think first round certainly is where you want to be in order to ensure that you can get him. But I'd be looking to move down a few spots. We didn't get any offers for the pick, but I would consider perhaps Green Bay right here, right? They certainly could be in the market for a corner. You know, Minnesota has a litany of needs. I'm not sure what they did with the 11th overall pick. Dallas could go corner, right? If again, we're assuming that, you know, thinking about who might be coming off the board here. Receivers a need, offensive tackles a huge need for them. I'd be thinking maybe trade down to see if we can, you know, add a pick here by trading down to 25 here and then kind of reassess where we stand. If McKinstry and Darius Robinson come off the board, which direction do you go in then? Johnny Newton up front to kind of round out that down line. I know. Again, I know we favor him in an even man front, but he's demonstrated he can play 4-5 technique. He's played over the nose. He's done it all.
Yeah, they said check receiver.
Ooh, receiver.
Yeah, added 9. Xavier Worthy, that's a lot of speed. I know they brought in Devontae Parker, but it's a 1 year, you know, probably prove it deal. He doesn't really move the needle. He got to stay healthy. So we could bolster that also. If those two guys, like you said, Robinson, Kool-Aid is off the board. If you want to go big and go like an Adonai Mitchell.
Yeah. All right. So obviously there's some players that we could pivot to. We can engage that discussion a little bit more. I think in the grand scheme of things, I'd wait on receiver a little bit here, but I understand where you're coming from based on those guys potentially being off the board. All right, let's see what we can do here. See if Green Bay is willing to bite.
Yeah, move anything.
I'm in favor of adding this 3rd round pick right here.
Let's add it, man.
All right, let's see what happens. McKinstry, Newton, Mims. All right.
Let's go get Robinson.
Now we add Darius Robinson, and we have a pair of 2nd round selections as well as a pair of 3rd round selections. So plenty of draft capital to work with. Get the player that I believe both of you favored there. I was leaning towards McKinstry, but I'm comfortable with either he or Robinson here.
Now let me ask you: Can we trade up for Adrian Cooper?
We could potentially. Where are you thinking of trading up to?
Okay.
That's the question.
That is the question. Maybe in front of Washington. I'm not sure what they. Oh, not this pick, but the next. Maybe stay in front of them.
The 40th pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're giving up the 91st overall pick and 161 as well as 250 to move up to 239, and we get back to 101. So we drop down 10 spots in the 3rd round, and it actually becomes a 4th round pick at that point. But it works pretty well because we added a 3rd round pick.
3rd round pick. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you want to secure the Adrian Cooper, we can roll the dice and pivot to a Peyton Wilson if he comes off the board, Junior Colson. That's an option. That's an option. We don't have to make this trade, but if you really like Adrian Cooper here, I think this is the move right here.
What you want to do, Headley? I'm good with it.
Peyton Wilson, he ran that 4.4. He flies all over the field, and the thing with him is the injuries and the age. He's 24 years old. Really hurt through his college career, so. I think Adrian Cooper is a better prospect, so I'm with trading up here and getting Adrian Cooper.
All right, Drew, you suggested it, so we're trading up here.
And listen, I'll take the bullets that come flying my way because I know how Philly fans feel about, let's not draft a linebacker, let's go offensive line and all this other kind of stuff. Like we've been telling Philly fans since we've been doing mock drafts this season, right? That y'all need a linebacker, and here we are in the offseason. Y'all went out and signed you one, right? And y'all still need one because it's a renter player. You have no idea what you get from Devin White. So was that
they added another? They added another guy. I'm not sure if he's part of the long.
Zach Bond. Zach Bond.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You don't know who's a part of the long-term plan, right? Like they've done enough to say we don't have to press in the draft, and that's
correct.
You're in a
absolutely, and that's exactly
what you want to do, right?
Yep.
You're either trying to go get that one guy that could put you over the edge, or you're trying to maintain, right? Which is kind of what the Eagles are doing. We're trying to maintain. We're making some adjustments, scheme change, all that. So we want to add a couple of guys who are familiar or can understand the scheme that we're going to play. But it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what we're going to roll with based on the contracts, obviously, for the foreseeable future, right? They can play themselves into a contract, but we don't know. And here you go into the draft, and you could just kind of do what you want, right? You ain't got to press on anything, right? Unless your guy that's coming closer falls to you, you take them. And here we got a chance to get a guy, man, a starter.
All right. So obviously too much capital for a linebacker. I disagree. I disagree with this comment. And I'll explain to you why. I think the best teams in the NFL this past season had very, very good play from their second level of
That's
defense.
The 49ers, what happened?
And I believe, and exactly, that's exactly where I was going, Drew. That's exactly where I was going. As soon as Dre Greenlaw went down, their defense looked different. Their defense looked completely different as soon as he went down in the Super Bowl. So I think this has come back to bite Philadelphia too much. They've tried the Darius Leonard. They've tried to kind of piece things together with my guy Zach Cunningham, and they just need to get it solidified. Now, of course, the Bengals obviously want this pick as well, but Cooper's the top linebacker in this class as far as I'm concerned, right? Like I said, I mentioned in our last live stream, I don't think there's any real weakness to his game. He can improve, right? But certainly, I don't think there's a glaring weakness in your game. You can look at guys that they either have injury issues or they're not quite as good in pass coverage, or they kind of jump around those blocks and aren't great in terms of their run fits. But Cooper, to me, offers the most complete package and the best prospect at the linebacker position in this class, as far as I'm concerned. So that's the pick, man. I think it's worth it.
And the 49ers went out and got I think today was it Devondre Campbell.
Yeah, from the Packers
as well. So them boys said we're not gonna fall into the pit that we fell.
We're not gonna be in that position again. We're not gonna put ourselves in that position again.
And like you guys said, man, that second level, the regular season you might could get away with it, not having a strong linebacking core. But as soon as the playoff come and the weather gets colder, we've seen it, man. The best teams had those linebackers, the Ravens, the 49ers, even the Chiefs. I think they had some underrated linebackers out there. So, those were the teams to beat, man. And the Eagles, the Cowboys, their second level wasn't good, and
it cost them. It cost them
in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like the Bucks weren't able to run the football all regular season. You could speak to that, Drew. And in the playoffs, they ran for over 100 yards on the Eagles because of that linebacker play. So, I think Edge and Cooper, and we didn't give up too much because we got back picks also. So I'm fine with that, man. I'm fine with Edge and Cooper right there. For the Eagles.
Yeah, if that's the guy you covet. Now, mind you, if you're comfortable, you're close enough in terms of your evaluation with Junior Colson and Peyton Wilson, you can stay at 250.
Yeah, you let it ride. Yeah,
I said 250. The 50th overall pick. You can let it ride and still get your guy there. But I'm of the mindset. That he's the best in this group, in this crop. So let's add him. And now D-Kit mentioned Nakobe Dean, isn't it? I like Dean coming out. We know the injury history and the size concerns. Right? The size concerns there. Yeah, it's a tall order to ask of Dean in terms of not being an elite athlete and being on the smaller side. So, again, I think that was the right choice here. Dana seems to agree with respect to Cooper. Here we are. We got the 53rd overall selection. And, of course, Peyton Wilson, Junior Colson are there. But, again, we've already pontificated and discussed the Edgerrin Cooper selection enough. Which direction do you want to go in here?
We spoke about the secondary, getting a corner or a safety. So we got the first line of defense with Darius Robinson, second line with Edgerrin Cooper. I think we go to the back end right here, look at corner, look at safeties. You got Mikey, but Mikey's more of a slot. We got Gardner Johnson for that. So that Tyler Nubin right there. Is he safety one now, Juice? Can we say he's safety one? Or are we still on the kitchens? Can we say he's safety one?
Tentatively safety one. Tentatively. I think Cam Kitchens. I don't know when Miami's pro day is. Whether it's
you got to run faster.
If you got to run faster, you got to run faster. I personally, I'd wait on Kitchens. That's just me though. You're leaning towards Tyler Nubin. What say you, Drew?
I'm good with a Tyler Nubin. I think you'd be. Let me see. Let me see receiver real quick.
That's your boy Polk out there.
Yeah,
Ricky already got picked.
Polk is out there. Ooh.
Ricky already got picked, bro. Ricky gone.
Hold on. You know what, bro?
Ricky gone.
I was thinking about Ricky going against Xavier Worthy and Adonai Mitchell and who was the other one? Xavier. Oh, Troy Franklin. I think Ricky might be better than all of those guys.
All of them. I give you Worthy and Franklin, but that boy Adonai,
Adonai showed you enough in the season, bro. Because I'm telling you, the thing about Ricky, bro, is the boy just didn't throw him the football, bro. He was open.
Yeah.
Just didn't throw him the football so he could have the production, so you could talk about him the way you could talk.
But you got Adonai with the size, speed. He could play the outside on the boundary. Ricky, we say he's a slot guy, right? So, and there's nothing wrong against slot guys. They're going to get open, but you got a guy with that size, that speed.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying. You said that. I say that. We can
Mm-hmm.
play outside, but you know what?
Drew ain't buying it. Yeah.
Adonai might be the one. If you're saying it's one way, I would probably put Thomas over him, and I would put. It's possible I'm gonna put Adonai over. I gotta go back to the tape. But
so you saying Ricky might be wide receiver 5? Pearsall wide receiver 5? Because you got Brian Thomas. 5. You got Brian Thomas over there?
I might have Brian Thomas over him. I don't know. I gotta look at the tape.
4,
look at the tape
4 or 5.
a little bit more. We'll see. But it's close. It's close. My bad. I'm distracted, man. You said Ricky.
No, that's okay.
Right.
That's a good combo,
okay.
bro.
That's okay. No. We can unpack the receiver conversation because I think there's going to be there's an appetite. There's an appetite to add a third receiver to this group beyond that of Devontae Parker.
They got Polk at 60 something, right? I just want to see where he rated.
65. Yeah.
65. All right, so we're gonna miss out on him if we do that.
They probably miss him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're gonna miss him. I think you gotta go safety. Tyler Nubin is too rich for our blood to miss. What's the interior O-line look like?
Christian Haynes.
I think we need some competition in there.
Christian Haynes out there, but I think we could wait though.
You want to wait on it,
right?
We can wait on the
Zinsser. We could wait on a Cohen. You could wait on a McCormick.
Okay,
our guy from Utah. I think we could wait on that. Pooney.
And this is one of those teams that develops offensive lines too. So
very well.
So yeah. All right, we got to press on that. All right, I think it's Nubin. I think you got to draft Nubin.
All right, Tyler Nubin's the pick, 53rd overall,
and they can figure it out, man. You got to press. They could do a bunch of different things now. You can get real cute.
Real cute, bro.
Real cute. You have
those
4 safeties on the field, man.
And our first 3 picks, those are 3 thumpers, bro. These guys are coming to hit 110%
physicality.
They're gonna help in the run game. We talked about the Eagles' run game, fixing that, and all 3 of these guys are excellent in the run game.
And that's at all 3 levels too.
I like the guy at the top here, by the way. You know, Dana, I think Nubin gives you a little bit more flexibility. I like Bishop as more of a strong safety. I think Nubin can play, the deep third as a free safety as well as come up and be an enforcer as a strong safety.
You got your boy Max Melton. He can beat him up at the line.
It's an easy one for me. Melton's the pick for me.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, you can beat him up at the line. Inside, outside versatility. If you want to move Gardner Johnson back to the third level and make Max Melton play the slot, or you can move Max Melton to the outside. He's just tough player, man. Very competitive. Could tackle. He adds to this draft class, like we said, that can help in the run game because he could tackle out there at the slot.
All right, our first 4 selections on the defensive side of the ball. We traded down, then we traded up to get the players that we coveted. Added a couple pieces to the secondary. Got our linebacker. Of course, we spent a lot of time on that conversation. It's become the running back position of the defense, right? But push come to shove, you need guys at the second level who can affect the quarterback, who can obviously help out in the running game, and then, of course, not be liabilities in coverage. So Edgerrin Cooper checks all those boxes there. And then Darius Robinson, the flexibility he gives us up front is significant. And of course, the physicality that he brings, leadership that he brings. Okay, here we are in the 4th round, day 3. We have 5 selections, 101. Our next couple of selections are about 70 picks away. So what do you think? Do you want to add a receiver here?
Yeah, I'm looking at the wide receiver.
Brandon Rice is still around. Jalen McMillan. There's Thrash, Washington, Tez.
Oh, Tez is kind of he's kind of fallen out of favor, but I think this is a good landing spot for him because he doesn't have to come in right away and play. You got Parker, Brown, and Devontae Smith, and also what he can do to stretch the field. We want to open up the field for Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. We can send Tez deep, stretch the field, got a lot of speed, could track the football really well. It's just you got to catch the football. That's the thing with Tez Walker. You got to catch the football.
Well, you don't have to put him in positions where he has to be the contested catch guy, right? It's just one-on-one coverage. Can he beat his guy? Can he focus and catch the football? Let's make it real easy for him, as easy as possible.
Do you think this team is missing that element?
A little bit.
Do you think it's maybe a little bit, just that pure speed guy, right?
Yeah.
But AJ Brown and Devontae Smith stack defensive backs all the time.
They do.
You know what I'm saying? So my thought process is, can we add a guy that, like you mentioned it earlier, perhaps being able to move Devontae Smith into the slot in these 3 receiver sets? Maybe you go with a Brendan Rice.
Go with a guy on the outside.
I'm not mad at it.
That's
I like
what
it.
I'm thinking.
I prefer Brendan Rice
strongly
over Tez Walker. I would just say Tez Walker.
The reason why I brought that up,
it's a good fit for this team, but I prefer Rice over Walker.
I'm good with the Brendan Rice. I like the size. I like the element to put Smith inside.
You go
said
Pooney right there, though.
Pooney is right there, and we would lose Pooney. Where's Brendan Rice? What number is he? Was he ranked? Oh, we're gonna lose him anyway. 171. Yeah, we'd lose him.
Anyway. Yeah. These players aren't gonna be there.
No, I think you go Brendan Rice there.
You think you go Brendan Rice pass up on Pooney?
Yeah, because again, we go back to, if this was a different team where they struggle with their offensive line consistently year after year, meaning they're not developing their guys, I think you go Pooney. But the fact that they develop their guys, I mean, they draft well in terms of that position anyways, but you just identify the guy that has the skill set that you want, and we'll fix him, right? So we can do that in the later rounds. But here, I think, like you were saying, in terms of looking at your receivers, who's left to play the outside, right? There's not, I mean, you know what I mean? Like we'd be forcing a guy outside in this scenario if we pass up on Brendan Rice. Plus, he got the size. You know what I'm saying? So,
and if it's a question just solely of speed, I think you got guys later that you could add specifically for that reason.
I agree. Yeah.
I know.
Let's get that
if Tez
Rice.
Walker, I'll put it this way: if Tez Walker shows halfway decent at the Senior Bowl, we go with Tez Walker here, right? I think so. But it was bad, bro. It was bad. And when you go back and you watch the tape, you start to see some of those deficiencies in his game.
Yeah.
So I'm for Brendan Rice. Everybody
I'm with y'all there. Yeah, I'm still thinking Pooney, because I know we like Tyler Steen coming out and Cam Jurgens, but they're new guys, man. And adding more competition in the interior, maybe we could get that later on. If we pass up on Pooney, we could get that later on. So yeah, I'm with you guys on Brendan Rice, man. I love Brendan Rice. He's physical. He catch the football. So I know you guys said he had some drops along the way, but he showed up well in the Senior Bowl, man. So I'm with Brendan Rice, but I'm still looking at that Pooney guy on the interior also.
I think, and Eagles fans, I'm sure will correct me if I'm wrong here, but I have heard from Eagles fans that the expectation with this offensive line coach is that, generally speaking, you don't get dropped in the mix immediately, right? You gotta develop. You gotta develop. Unless you're Lane Johnson, you gotta develop, right? You know what I'm saying? So the fact that Jurgens has had the opportunity to sit, and play a little guard, the fact that Steen had an opportunity to get his legs underneath him. Not to say that they shouldn't add more depth, right? But I think those guys are going to be your starters. Even if you take Pooney here, I would imagine those are your starters, right? I don't think Pooney's going to unseat either of those guys. Again, Eagles fans, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I've gathered to this point. So I certainly understand where you're coming from. I
we can do that. We got Bordellini. We could get Mason McCormick. We could get later on. So yeah, I'm with the Brendan Rice.
All right. Isaiah Adams is a bit later too. So let's go Brendan Rice here.
Hey, real quick, I'm gonna derail it real quick. Just let y'all know, got allergies, so ain't nobody over here on that stuff, bro. That white. People see things and they just kind of run with it. So
white lies, bro.
Just say it, bro. And
you started your own narrative, bro. You shouldn't
listen.
He did.
They
side-eyeing you now. They side-eyeing you now.
Hey, listen.
You say you trying to cover up for something.
Listen. If that's your cup of tea, do your thing. But over here, we got allergies, man. You feel me?
Oh, man.
Let me just Let me just put it up to the camera.
I think it was a pick swap. Third and fourth round pick swap, if I'm not mistaken. And then some additional draft cap a little bit later.
Yeah, and that second quarterback, they always say, the quarterback's the most important position, and the backup quarterback might be the next thing, because if your quarterback goes down, you need a guy that could come in, play 2 or 3 or 4 games and hold it down until Jalen Hurts get back healthy. And, Hurts, he dealt with some injuries last season as well. So, they lost Mariota.
Yo.
The Altoid case. I want to say you got the Altoid case, Drew.
You got the Altoid case, bro.
So you just snitched on yourself,
bro. Yourself up there. You dry snitched, bro. You dry snitched on yourself, man. Come on. All right. We're up at 171. We have 172 as well. There's Bo Limmer. There are Headley's corners from FSU. You got Mo Kamara. No, I say no to James Williams. You know how I feel about it, even though I'm a Canes fan. I said maybe at this point James Williams is part of the calculus, but yeah, I remember people talking about first round for him, and I was like, no, sir.
Nah. Who's in the interior O line? Which guys got left?
There you go.
Okay, yeah, I like the guy from Utah, guy Isaiah Adams, also from Illinois.
I think there are quite a few guys here.
Yeah,
Isaiah Adams,
Coleman,
Robinson. These first 6.
Your boy
here.
Michigan.
7 when you add Kingsley to the mix.
Kingsley. All right, yeah, we fine. We're good.
Altoid case.
So that's what we have there. Back on the defensive line, there's the Christian Boyd, Miles Murphy, Justin Rogers, Crumedy, Marcus Harris, Jordan Jefferson. I mentioned Muhammad Kamara, Drew's guys ETF, Holker, Tip Raymond.
So, did we check the interior? Did I miss it? O-line?
Yeah, we just looked at it.
Yeah, we just talked about it.
Sorry, I was trying to
Altoids, bro. Damn Altoids.
Come on, bro. I was trying to get the information for the Kenny Pickett trade, bro. Maybe working.
Yes, he was. I cut him some slack. There's a Kenny Pickett detail. Thank you, Drew.
You also gotta look at a backup for Saquon. You got Kenneth Gainwell in there. I think we could get a running back maybe later on.
Yeah, we got 171, 172, 187, and 210 here.
You don't want to get the interior from Utah? I can't say his name.
Sato Laumea. I'm gonna go with Laumea as the pronunciation. Please give me the phonetics.
One of them, we get a guy from Utah with one of them. Laumea. He has some versatility too, right? Tackle guard. He could do that also, right? Swing tackle, interior. So we could get him with one of these picks. Also, if you want to get a pass rusher, more guy on the edge, you got Mo Kamara right there.
One of the Murphy brothers.
And then we could grab another corner also if you want to get another corner. I like Green, Jones, and Smith Wade, man. He's growing on me a lot too. I saw him out there at the Senior Bowl day one. He was getting done day one in the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
And he just got better better, man.
Short memory.
Better and better. When you watch the tape, man, he's so physical. He'll come up and hit. He just got to turn his head around, locate the football a little bit better. But I like him. I like him and Jaden Hicks in that secondary for Washington State.
So
we go corner.
Thank you, Dana.
Corner, edge, guard. Whichever order.
Let's make sure we get the interior guy to add to that mix. And I'm thinking corner. And then we'll see. We'll see if Mo is still out there. But I want to go corner and interior O-line here.
But if we but it's 3 corners we like, right? So maybe we go corner last.
You want to wait?
Yeah. Get the guard, get Mo Kamara, and then whichever one of those corners fall to us, maybe at 187.
Okay. All right. No argument for me. So Laumea. Yeah, I had it right. Thank you, Dana. No. Or yes.
I mean, it's not a bad trade, but is that realistic?
Yeah, I'm going to accept it. I accepted it. Bo Limmer. Yeah, the interior guys went. All right. And then Mo Kamara.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what we got at corner for us at 187. Yep.
Oh,
Hold on.
damn! All of them went. Oof.
You still got your boy, man, McLovin, man. Still your boy out there.
You who do you like more, Nehemiah Pritchett or McLovin at this point?
They're both big corners. I think Pritchett more of a man guy. McLovin more of a zone guy. So if you're talking about his defense, more man principles, probably Pritchett. Probably Pritchett for this defense.
I'm okay with that. I'm all right with that. Both present pretty good size here as well. So let's go Nehemiah Pritchett. Add him to the secondary. And we did add another draft pick, so we have 2 remaining here.
Man, ask how much video you guys watch to get a feel for some of these guys. I like to watch at least 4 to 5 games. And then we watch them live also. So you see them live, but then when you go back to the tape, I like to watch about 4 or 5 games. Some guys you see it right away. When I watched it was Jackson Powers Johnson, after like 1 game, you're like, okay, I know who he is. That's an easy eval, but some guys, about 4 or 5 games for me.
Well, speaking of knowing after you see it, Drew brought it up. Aaron Donald saw him in that opener against FSU 2013. And I knew. I knew, bro. I knew. Because that's not that FSU team was a championship team, bro. And they couldn't do nothing with Aaron Donald, bro. He was a problem the whole game. I knew it. So that happens from time to time. But I would agree with you, Head. I try to get in 4 to 6 games for these players. And again, of course, we watch football every Saturday. So we're seeing them live as well.
I would say the quarterbacks could probably be more.
Yeah. I try to watch every game. Every game I can get my hands on with the quarterbacks.
Yeah, quarterback,
it's a
little different
beast for sure. All right. Here we are at 210, and then our last pick at 216. We got Holker out there. Who's backing up Goddard? Who's backing up Goddard?
They got a lot of tight ends on the roster, bro. They got Grant Calcaterri. I think he's from Oklahoma, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. They got
remember
Alberto.
Remember Alberto? Yeah.
They got Noah Togal.
So a bunch of lowercase guys. That's what you're telling me? A bunch of lowercase guys.
If I was to get a tight end, I'll probably get one that could block. One that could come in.
You want somebody a little bit more inline, like a Tip Raymond?
Yeah, like a Tip Raymond. Tip Raymond would be nice.
Get your Tip Raymond. I don't think we drafted Tip Raymond. We haven't drafted him yet. Let's grab him, man.
What do you think about you talked about stretching the defense, Anthony Gold, and then you mentioned also a backup to Saquon here at the running back position. You want to just go get the Sparky guy here, Garendo?
I like the Sparky guy.
It is 7th round, right?
Yeah. It's that time. Let's go Garendo here.
Let's go
Garendo.
Garendo. And then who did we say? We said Tip Raymond.
Tip Raymond.
All right. Okay.
I like it.
All right. How we made it easy?
I like it, though.
I know. I mean, you know how that goes. Can't make him happy, but how we made it easy though. He made it easy to, in many cases, just to get the best player available at the positions that we deem most worthy. You know what I'm saying? So I think maybe there probably will be some debate in terms of who we took at receiver to add to that room. But I'm perfectly comfortable with the way that AJ Brown and Devontae Smith stretch the field. I'm perfectly comfortable with that. I think they just need a better third option among the receivers. All right, Drew. I know you're a little under the weather, so I'm gonna turn it over to Headley. Headley, break it down for us. Recap it for us.
We traded down a couple spots. Robinson was on the board when we were up initially, but we ended up with Robinson anyways at the 25th pick. The physicality that he plays with, very versatile. He can play inside, outside, guard against the run, the pass. So that swim move, man, his swim move is outstanding. Showed that at the Senior Bowl. He's a riser, man. I think he's a first-round pick. I think more guys should be talking about him as a first-round guy. And Adrian Cooper with the second pick, pick 39, we traded up. We had some additional picks for trading down, so we used those picks to trade back up to get Adrian Cooper. Some might think we had too much draft capital to get him, but That second line of the defense was a sore spot for the Philadelphia Eagles last season, especially in the playoffs. So we shore that up. Drew said we don't know what Devin White we're going to get. He's on a 1-year deal. So let's go get the young stud in Edgerrin Cooper. And then we went Tyler Nubin, safety. Safety's been a position. They lost Kevin Byard in free agency. They drafted Sidney Brown last year, and we couldn't pass up on Tyler Nubin, man. He's safety one right now. The physicality to come trigger downhill and excellent in the run game. So those first 3 picks, even Max Melton with the next pick, all of those guys are physical, 110% players. They play the run game really well. And Max Melton offers versatility to play inside and outside. So we went Brendan Rice. It was a debate right there. We had Tez Walker at the top of the board and Brendan Rice, but we went Brendan Rice right there. Physical receiver, could play the outside with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Man, we want him in the slot. We want him Eaton in the slot. So I like the 3 wide receiver set right there we have for Jalen Hurts. Then we went Laumea, Utah, the interior offensive line. I was trying to get Pooney earlier, but Laumea is a good consolation prize. The versatility. Mo Kamara, Jeremiah Pritchett, more guys along the defense, edge and corner. I think the Eagles, those are the positions that they need to attack in this draft. So more depth right there for edge and corner. Then we went some high upside guys with Isaiah Guerrero. The chat asks, when do you think he's going to be drafted? I think he's thinking around 5th round. I think 5th round is where he could begin. Could go later, 5th or 6th round.
Think about like Pacheco. Think about like Pacheco, right? Pacheco obviously tested really well. Didn't have the massive production, i.e. Guerrero, but tested very well. High-end athlete. He goes in the 6th round. You know what I'm saying?
It's around there.
That's probably where I would peg him. Yeah.
Round 5, round 6. You don't want to peg nobody, bro.
Pause that up.
And then we went Tip Raymond, man. We closed it out, man. We got Dallas Goedert, pass catching tight end. Tip Raymond might be one of the best run blocking tight ends in the class. Physical. We saw what he did with the sled at the combine, man. So we like Tip Raymond as a blocking tight end going forward.